is coming up in just a few moments. But Shawn Gumataotao is here, and as he does each and every Friday, drops a new episode of the That's It, That's All podcast. And Shawn, I understand you're actually kind of going back to your roots for this next episode, talking about sports.
Yeah, absolutely. It's entitled "Time to Play: Why Sports Matter in These COVID Times." So, Jay, I went last night to my son's first soccer game, boys soccer game with Notre Dame against Father Duenas. Didn't have the good result, obviously, but it was very strange to see how, with all the rules in place, I was in my car watching the game. So it was, as we're just getting back into the swing of things, I kind of wanted to change a bit, at least the tone of the podcast, to kind of go back to talking about sport and the importance of making sure we're all healthy, and a little bit of insight from the recent experiment from the Guam Football Association with all the Masters guys getting back to play. So some good things happening, but again, just trying to lighten the mood. It's a Friday, and I know we've been talking some pretty serious issues over the last couple of weeks, so kind of a change of pace, if you will.
Very cool. So, you've been involved with sports, as a storyteller, as a journalist, but also as a coach, as an official. You were a wrestling official for many, many years and very good at it. And then, as an athlete yourself. So, your experience kind of runs the gamut. And we've never been through something like this, though. And how would you say, like a younger Shawn Gumataotao would have approached this? Like if you were just, like itching to get back on the field, on the mat, in the gym, and something like that, and this kind of thing was like hanging over your head.
Yeah, I think it's challenging for many sports administrators, everyone that's involved in it. There's this want for all of us to try to stay healthy, and when these activities are kind of stopped for a while or limited because of what's happening with the global pandemic, it's just always a cause for concern. I think looking at some of the history books about what they were doing in the last pandemic, certain sports were being played, some were not. It just took years, and hopefully it doesn't take years to get us back into the swing of things. And I think there's some good examples, especially in our community. GFA, the Guam Football Association, is one of them. So I mentioned it in the podcast. So if you get a chance to listen, everyone, it's That's It, That's All. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher. It's also on the iHeartRadio app and on Pandora. And Jason, Sabrina, Chris, as we're starting our Friday, again, it's so good to be a part of the KUAM Podcast Network. And if you guys are listening out there and you haven't had a chance to jump on, there's some great programming. You don't want to miss it.
Thank you, Shawn. We're talking sports. I got to ask about this letter that a bunch of different fitness... Go ahead.
Oh, no, just that all these different fitness... trainers
and gyms, and I think there's a few fighters, but it was penned by Synergy's Claire Calvo, and it was basically asking for an exemption for these different fitness-related businesses, an exemption from the governor's mandate, which bars the unvaccinated from frequenting any of the covered establishments. It took about, a day to get an answer, Bree? Or? Yeah, well, the gov responded and was basically like, no, not going to happen. But I just wanted to get your take on that. Should we be allowing the unvaccinated to exercise and try and stay healthy?
I think I was listening to this show with Dr. Nguyen a couple weeks ago, and talking about how the fact that, not just Dr. Nguyen, but a lot of the doctors that have been on this program since the start of containing COVID and the like, they've all said that if we could get out, we could be more active. If we could do these very healthy activities, then that is like one of the bigger steps in preventing COVID. And I think that when we think about the policy and we think about what's happening in these centers, they're not like, say, an eating establishment. They're not like a retail outlet. These places are trying to get people fit and healthy, physically and mentally, which I think is kind of needed today. I wish that maybe those who are reviewing the guidance could reconsider, because these types of places are opened up all across the country, and they are taking every precaution. They're spending a lot of money and time to be able to keep their members and their patrons safe. So, and it's a healthy activity. Yes, the grappling part might be a little bit different, but I think they should try to get back to play as fast as possible for everyone's sake.
Right. I mean, we could have done something like where if you're vaccinated, you go Monday. If you're unvaccinated, Tuesdays. Or something. It just, I don't know. I mean, and clearly the intent of these measures were to I guess, to try and mitigate the spread of these cases. But that's not, I mean, obviously 11 weeks in, I think we can all agree that these measures are not working at all. So, thanks, Shawn, for your time this morning.
I think I really think that us getting back to play mentally and physically, I think it's really kind of that first start. I think we should be encouraging more of these activities.
Right on, my friend. Have a great weekend.
You guys have a great weekend too, and keep up the good work. And again, if you missed the link, you missed a whole heck of a lot. So you guys have a great day.
Thank you, Shawn.
Take care, Shawn.
All right, our buddy Shawn Gumataotao. Just a quick break, and back with Senator Sabina Perez on this raining Cats Against Lagos Friday morning.
Catch Sports Link on the KUAM News Morning Show, The Link, every Friday for the latest sports news, game